Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your October reading. And happy birthday to all the October Scorpios out there as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with an oracle card to kick off the reading. So let's see what comes through for Scorpio for October. Okay, we have isolation. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be isolated, but that there might be a need for you to just kind of take a step back and reboot a little bit, okay? Because we do have your two ruling planets significantly at play right now. First and foremost, Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn. So we're officially on the very last leg of this. No more Pluto retrograde. Pluto's going to start moving back toward Aquarius, where it will be for the next 20 years, okay? Your other ruling planet, Mars, is going to be moving in through his pre-shadow phase near the end of the month. Not quite retrograde yet. The retrograde begins in December, but he's going to start kind of getting into that position and slowing down, and we're going to start to see some of the Mars retrograde stuff. So there might be a need for Scorpio to just kind of pull it back a little bit and regroup and think things through and, whatever else. So isolation could maybe be a really, really good thing so that we're not acting too impulsively or doing anything like haphazardly, Gives us time to think. Learn from the past. Okay, maybe that's why, right? We're not trying to make the same mistakes again. We're not trying to go down the same road. We're not trying to fall for the same things. We're trying to, really make these improvements, and we're trying to grow and evolve and to bring in these new chapters of life. And so it is going to be important. Isolation does seem like a really good thing because it's going to help you to kind of get your mind in that right place so that you can move forward logically and in your ultimate best interest and best interest for everyone else, okay? There does seem to be a bigness this month for Scorpio specifically. Kind of a big month here. Okay, what else for Scorpio? Let's see, we've got Temperance. Beautiful. 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups. See, because it is all in the interest of our happiness and our success. Temperance is, kind of transmutation oriented, where we tend to transmute energies that maybe are not so great into things that are better. That's why the isolation is needed, so that we can actually go through that transmutation process properly. So we can, let our mind figure things out, figure out the best perspective to hold, figure out our best line of action. I do think there's going to be some strategy involved here because, again, the goal is the happiness and the joy and the contentment and the passion and the creativity, and it's you getting your wishes to come true with that 9 of Cups, right? So if something happens, now I'm not seeing what might happen, but whatever happens, whatever triggers, whatever person comes up for you, right? Whatever person, whatever thing, whatever stuff from your past comes up for you, you're going to have to sit with it and figure out the best way to move on from it, or how to take that energy and convert it and put it into something much more useful, more profitable. And this might be really easy for you. It might be really challenging for you, but we definitely don't want to lose sight of the goal, which is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is the happiness. Now, when I say happiness, I don't mean the fleeting happiness that we often feel, in peaks and valleys. I think more it's that sustained state of just overall joy. I don't see Scorpio getting in their own way. I don't see you self-sabotaging. I don't see you self-abandoning. I don't see you self-betraying. You're going to remain true to yourself. You're going to have a lot of conviction is what I'm seeing with that 9 of Cups. There's going to be a lot of conviction. And I think you're going to be very stern, and you're going to be have strong boundaries, and you're going to say, I will accept this and I will not accept many other things. Thing with Scorpio, right now we have Venus in Scorpio. Later on, the Sun and Mercury will move into Scorpio later on through October. The thing about Scorpio is that it is so related to elimination. We tend to get rid of a lot of things during this time. This is not really a time to accumulate, right? We're not trying to bring a bunch of stuff in. Now, stuff may naturally come in as a result of the elimination because we've created space for that. But the goal is not to go out and acquire more so much as it is to clean it out. I think Virgo seasons, Scorpio seasons, these 2 months of the year, fantastic for getting everything in order and really giving yourself a blank slate. And you are going to have to be stern. For some reason, I'm getting this really strong attitude from the Nine of Cups. And maybe you are going to have a bit of an attitude, but that might be a good thing because people are going to be clear on what you need, clear on what you want. There's not going to be confusion. There's not going to be miscommunication. There's not going to be misinterpretations. It's just going to be very black and white. Scorpio says, I want this. Scorpio says, I want that. Scorpio, then so be it. And I think it's what will happen. I do suspect that clarity is going to be a big theme. Now, this is a big month. We have an eclipse on the 2nd. We have Pluto stationing direct. We have Jupiter retrograde beginning. There's a lot going on. With Mercury and Scorpio 2 coming in on the 13th, that's going to be probably where the directness really starts to come in. Mercury in Libra does tend to be a bit more diplomatic and kosher, where Mercury in Scorpio is like, what have I got to lose? I'm just going to say what I need to say, right? It's really punchy. And I do see you getting pretty punchy with that Nine of Cups because your wishes are at stake, right? Because you're not willing to pay the price. Like your wishes they're not on the table for negotiation. Like Scorpio is making their wishes come true no matter what. So it's not up for grabs. All right. 6 of Wands. Beautiful. Love to see that. The Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Wands. I mean, this might be a really short reading for you today. I don't even really know. I mean, clearly that 6 of Wands is a card of victory and success. It means that you are going to have a very successful month. And probably it's because you kind of force your hand on that, right? You tend to say, I will not accept anything less than the best. I will not accept things to go awry. And if something does go awry, you will likely jump right in and fix it. Maybe now, I don't know, are you in a period of isolation right now? I don't know, but for some reason, this feels like where all the answers come through. This is where the epiphany or the strategy or the new creative idea or whatever, this is where it's going to come through. And once it comes through, that's the reason why, because I don't see Scorpio questioning. I don't see you questioning anything. I don't see you questioning that you can do it, like your capability. I don't see you questioning like anything about yourself anyway. You may question some other things, but you know that if it's you, it's going to work. If it's you, it's going to work because you're going to fight for it with that 7 of Wands. If that wheel is a little sticky and it doesn't quite want to start turning over, well, Scorpio is going to really put their back into it and push against that wheel as hard as they can to make sure it does push over, right? Or does start to turn over. You're going to create the opportunities. You're going to create the right people coming in. You're going to create the money. You're going to create the revenue streams. You're going to create all of the things because it's you. This is the epitome of what happens when someone says, I'm gonna make this happen for myself, and they put that entire load on their shoulders, and they're not looking externally. They're not saying, oh, that person's not going to give me the job, or oh, that person's doing this, or oh, the economy's doing that, and our government is doing this, and there's no blame for anything external. If there's a problem and you're not able to achieve your goal, the question is what can I do? What can I do to enhance myself? What can I learn? What skill can I develop so that I can achieve this goal? Because The attainment of this goal, like I say, is not on the table. It is not up for negotiation. That 10 of Cups is happening regardless of whatever else is going on. It's funny to get such positive cards, and yet still the reading is coming out very aggressive. So like it's really coming out at me in an extremely loud type of way. And maybe Scorpio, this is your time to make some noise. It's time for you to create some ripples. It's time for you to really put your back into something and make sure that you make that massive quantum leap, because it does feel big. It feels big. It feels like Scorpio is wanting something big. And maybe learn from the past. Maybe in the past you played too small. Maybe in the past you settled. Maybe in the past you fought for things that weren't worth fighting for. So like you have the past experience to know that, first of all, the 10 of Cups is possible, and 2, that you're going to have to be the one that creates it, that you're going to have to be the one that makes it happen, and you're not going to rely on anyone else right now. Now, if you're married or if you have a business partner or whatever, of course, they'll be a part of it, but with them or without them, your 10 of Cups is going to be coming online. I love the Wheel of Fortune in the center because it really feels like you're ready. It feels like you're ready to start receiving the bigger blessings and the bigger opportunities, because again, I think Scorpio is really leaning positive, leaning toward the sense of possibility. See, this is what happens when Jupiter is retrograde. We get that internalization of the Jupiterian energy. So we start to think more like we think bigger of ourselves, which I think is a good thing, not in an arrogant way, not in an conceited way, but in a way that we say, you know what, I see other people doing it. Why can't I? I see all these other people making it happen. Why can't I? I can and I should. And here you are, 7 of Wands, saying, I'm going to do it. It's like you are declaring it to the universe and putting it out there, and then immediately putting your money where your mouth is. There's no lag. There's no talking about it and then waiting a couple weeks. It's like, no, actually, you may not even talk about it. You may just do it. I'm not really seeing a ton of talking coming from Scorpio right now. And maybe isolation is not only the place where you receive the idea or the strategy or whatever, but maybe isolation is really where the magic happens for you too, where the real work happens behind closed doors. The real fight happens in private. Because man, that 7 of Wands, like you are, like learn from the past, you are ready for any obstacle that comes your way. I'm sensing a fearlessness. I'm sensing a courage that supersedes any fear that you could have. Now, there might be like a family thing with the 10 of Cups. Not all of you are close with family. Not all of you have created a new family with friends. But if you do have family, and specifically people that you trust is very important for Scorpio, okay? So people that you trust, people that you love very deeply, these people might be giving you a sense of purpose. And I feel like first of all, they definitely want to see you win. They definitely want to see you succeed. They definitely want to see you, blossom and grow and evolve. There's no restriction there at all. And that kind of love can make a person do incredible things, or not make a person, but can inspire a person to do incredible things. And right now you might be leaning on that love a little bit. You might be leaning on that partnership or that family unit or those close friendships. And that's a good thing. And as we should, right? We need those types of connections sometimes more than others. Right now, I think, Scorpio, you really need those connections. So we have the Moon. We have the Four of Cups. And last but not least, we have the Three of Swords. I'm not worried about the Three of Swords. Okay, well, that one kind of decided to come out, so we'll pull that too. Seven of Swords. This is kind of probably going to go hand in hand with the end part of the month as we enter Scorpio season. Let's start with the Moon card first, because there is going to be an unknown, a path that you may not trust. And I remember the reading last month was called Trust Your Distrust. And especially as we had that eclipse happening in Pisces conjunct Neptune. I know Scorpio was a little skeptical, optimistic, but skeptical, but I think rightfully so, because things may have seemed either too good to be true or whatever. It's very Neptunian energy. And so because of that, we're still kind of in the eclipse cycle. We have the eclipse in Libra this month on the 2nd, which is in your 12th house. So, you may still be a little bit like, I'm really not sure, but it doesn't mean you're not still progressing forward. It doesn't mean you're not still putting one foot in front of the other and heading out into this kind of unknown place. Because I do think that the 10 of Cups is the goal. The wish is coming true with the 9 of Cups. That that's all where you're headed. But the path there, you also know, is going to require a lot of unknown stuff. And you do have a warrior spirit right now. You do have that fighter energy. So the Moon doesn't really feel like that big of a deal. It's a little unknown. There are lots of question marks. You don't really know. You don't really have the answers. Yeah, okay, we get it. But that's not going to stop Scorpio. And there could be fear that comes up. There could be, little triggers from trauma, childhood, whatever. Again, so minimal in comparison to the fight that you are willing to fight. And the work that you're willing to put into it. There's so much passion coming through. Scorpio, I do feel like you are in such a passionate place. And I actually really, really like the Four of Cups a lot, because it tells me that you are not accessible, especially with the isolation card too. People don't have access to you. You're giving black cat energy vibes right now. Okay, there's kind of an aloofness about you. People trying to be a part of what you have going on. But see, this is a very exclusive club up here, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Very few people are invited into that space in our lives. Very few. A handful at most. And people who try to be a part of it, people who try to come in, people who try to access you, they're going to be significantly unsuccessful. You're just not interested. If it's not a 9 or 10 of Cups related, not interested, not going to do it, not going to spend time, definitely not going to spend money, definitely not going to talk about it. It's not even in your sphere, not even close. And there probably are going to be people that you're going to have to turn away. I'm seeing the disappointment right here. I think there are a lot of people that aren't going to be all that happy about it. There are going to be people that don't like to hear that you're happy. They don't like to hear that you're succeeding. They don't like to hear that you are, I don't know, that you're fighting for something that doesn't include them, maybe. I don't know. But there are going to be some disappointments, and I don't know that it's Scorpio's disappointments. I mean, it could be. I just don't see you being sad about turning things away. And I don't see a lot of loss for Scorpio. I mean, if you do have a loss, there's always going to be that attitude that, well, I needed that loss so that I would have space for something else. So any losses is immediately going to get spun into something positive, right? Your perspective, that's the beauty of temperance. That's why I say that, right? Because you're transmuting something. You're taking the energy from anything that's not working out and moving it into something that is, period. So there's not going to be any regret or sadness or whatever. So that's why I kind of think that 3 of Swords belongs to someone else. And there might be someone else who's not so happy about what's going on. 7 of Swords too. someone a little bit sneaky, maybe. You know, this definitely has kind of a thieving type of energy, like a thief of joy, perhaps. And man, Scorpio, it feels like there's potential for you to have so much joy. It would make sense that someone would want to try to infiltrate a little bit, unfortunately, but it does make sense. Not everyone is healing. Not everyone is going through the spiritual journey. Not everyone is really evolving. Not everyone is going through those deep therapy and therapeutic moments, and they're not purging and they're not acknowledging things. So not everyone is in the same place as you. And some people are in very sour places, and they can project that sourness very easily onto you. And I think they're going to try. I really do. So this is more likely aligned with Scorpio season. So you might not know what this is going into October. I say this all the time. So many people tell me a lot of my readings are not resonating. They don't make any sense at the beginning of the month. But by the end of the month, they go back and watch the previous month. And like, wow, that was so on point, right? So I think kind of my readings, like especially the last row of my readings, you're not going to really know what that is going into October. By November, you'll probably understand exactly what that is. Okay? Like I'm a Scorpio moon. I'm like kind of reading for myself at that point too. So like I have no idea what that could possibly be. But I'm sure by the end of the month I will. So, you know, you're going to have to deal with some type of an attitude or something with someone. And I don't think you're going to be happy about it either, because I think it ruins the beauty of the 10 and the 9 of cups. And not that you're going to feel guilty for this, but it's just like, oh, do I really have to deal with this? I have to deal with someone not being happy for me, or deal with someone who's trying to, you know, hitch their cart to my horse, or, you know, they're trying to take advantage of what I have going on or something, or they're just trying to spoil it. And I just don't think Scorpio really has the patience for that. We're going to get some more information with the clarifiers. So let's pull out the clarifiers. So the cards I'm about to pull out, we're going to open up all these cards. We're going to pull out lots of clarifiers, about 3 per card. So there's a lot. We go really in depth in these comprehensive readings. So if you want to join me, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes. It's like a whole second reading. We're going to talk about it in the comprehensive, and the link is in the description box in the pinned comment thread down below. So if you want to join, please do so. So we're going to start by clarifying the Temperance card. So what is it that Scorpio needs to know here? 7 of Cups. The Hermit. Hermit with isolation makes sense. And we have the King of Wands. I don't know why that got all. 8 of Wands. Another 10 of Cups. Seems like a good month. Page of Swords. 2 of Swords. See, there is something like, I think this is really connected with the 7 of Swords down here with that Devil card. 8 of Cups. That's the Scorpio card. King of Cups and 10 of Wands. It's definitely an earned success. I will say that. It's not a success that just lands in your lap. Okay, you're certainly working for it. There's a lot of energy put into that. 10 of Swords and Justice. 4 of Cups again, a Knight of Swords. 10 of Swords. Ace of Cups, 10 of Coins. So we have 2 10 of Cups and 1 10 of Coins. So there is something wonderful brewing for you. And then we have the Queen of Wands, the Emperor, Queen of Cups, another 7 of Swords. Not surprised. Eight of Coins, 3 of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Star, 2 of Cups, and Queen of Coins. Beautiful. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much, Scorpio. I hope you have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon.